Receiving a DWI in New Orleans, Louisiana can have serious repercussions. Knowing how to handle a DWI charge can be the difference between having the court's full weight come down on you or help your case substantially. I put together 20 tips for handling a DWI in New Orleans to ensure you're prepared if you ever get charged with driving while intoxicated. First of all, know that DWI is a crime. This sounds self-explanatory, but cultural norms dictate that I mention it. Years ago, it was socially acceptable to have a few drinks and drive home. Those days are long past. The amount of alcohol it takes to be over the legal limit may not be as much as you think. So keep this in mind before getting behind the wheel after a few drinks. The DWI won't just get thrown out. There once was a time when prosecutors would dismiss DWIs left and right. Lawyers could make deals for careless operation pretty easily. But times have changed. Prosecutor offices have a lot of pressure from organizations like MAD, which now prevents the high amount of great deals. However, we know what to look for to get the best result possible in every DWI case. Don't panic. Everyone makes mistakes in their lives. If you're charged with a DWI in New Orleans, realize it is not the end of your life. Unless you're a repeat offender, there's only so much punishment you'll receive, especially for a first offense. Remember that in the U.S., you have the right to remain silent. When pulled over under suspicion of DWI, you may be asked questions like if you have been drinking or how much you've had to drink. Any answer you give can be held against you. Don't lie. Just remember, you are not required to answer questions that would incriminate you. Just say you want your attorney present before answering any questions. This will not keep you out of jail, but it makes it easier for your attorney to argue your case when charged. If stopped for DWI, do not argue or resist arrest. This will only cause you to be charged with more crimes. If you had nothing to drink, say so, but resisting an arrest will not solve your problem. When under suspicion of DWI, you will be asked to take a breath or blood test. Any failing results will be used against you in court. You do have the right to refuse. A search warrant may be issued in which you will have to comply, but until then, it is your body and your decision. After being charged with a DWI, you will have the opportunity to make bail. Your first appearance in front of a judge will be at your arraignment when you are formally charged and offered a bail amount. New Orleans is a large city. If charged with DWI in the city limits, it could take longer than in smaller areas to receive bail. This is due to the overwhelming number of cases that come before the arraignment system. Even after giving a bail amount and making an agreement with a bondsman, it may take several hours for the administration to actually discharge you. When given a bail amount, it is up to you or your friends and family to post bail with the full amount of the bail money or hire a bondsman to make bail for you. If you can't afford bail, the only choice you may have is to stay in jail until your court date arrives. If you don't already have an attorney on speed dial, hire one as fast as possible after you're charged. Many people can't afford a DWI attorney right away, and therefore they'll be appointed one. Either way, try and have an attorney as soon as possible to advise you through your court case. Not only should your attorney be experienced in handling DWI cases, but they should also know the local system. This experience lets them understand the nuances of each local court. Hiring a professional is one of the best things you can do to get the most positive outcome from any criminal offense. Our firm is located directly across the street from the courthouse. You can even use our parking lot when you go to court for free. The best case scenario is you're never charged with a crime ever again in your life. What you certainly cannot do is get into trouble while you're awaiting trial. Remember, a condition of your bond is to stay out of trouble. If so, you can place everything your attorney has worked towards in jeopardy. If you have an issue with alcohol or drugs, find a way to receive counseling right away. If the courts realize you're on a path to help yourself before you required mandatory counseling, it will look much better in your favor. Getting no time served and probation instead of receiving jail time is always a good thing. Just remember that probation will take a lot of responsibility on your part. There will be many conditions placed upon you, such as paying fines, showing up for classes, imposed counseling, drug and alcohol tests, and other requirements that may go on for months and even years. There's always a good chance that your first court date will be reset to a later date. This can have your case drag on for some time. These postponements are necessary, and they're not necessarily a bad thing. First, they give you more time to earn money for any fines and fees if convicted, and it also allows time for the prosecutor to send your attorney all the reports and videos, as well as time for negotiation. You can express yourself with whatever you want to wear outside of court. But when your court date arrives, show up dressed as if you're on your way to church or better. Just don't wear a suit and tie. It always looks better when someone facing DWI or any conviction when others stand up for them. If there are responsible people in your life, call on them to write letters for you showing the positives in your life. Preachers, family, coaches, employers, and counselors are always a good choice. DWI convictions can have expenses that may total around $10,000 when it's all said and done. If you can make extra money during the process, this can only help if a plea agreement is reached. When you're charged with a DWI, you should always apply for a suspension hearing. However, if you hire us, we can do this for you. Be prepared to have your license suspended or at least restricted after this hearing, which is separate from your court case. All things come to an end. Being charged with a DWI and going through the process can be overwhelming. Do what you need to do. Listen to your attorney and know you will get through it. If you're a loved one that has a DWI in the New Orleans area, feel free to give me a call. I'll be happy to help.